Hello ladies and gents, welcome to a new Night POV review. In front of us is the new BYD Seal. This is the Excellence trim. This is the top spec with the all-wheel drive. Now it's a beautiful sports sedan that's fully electric. We're sitting on 19-inch alloys. Suspension is nice and comfortable. It is adaptive. On lower speeds with this dimension you can feel little imperfections, but on higher speeds it really soaks up everything well. This is dual motor, 217 horsepower, 313 combined, it's 530 horsepower. And one of the advantages of this car is the LFP battery. It's 82.5 usable kilowatt hours and charges up to 150 kilowatts. If I unlock the car one more time, you can see the back end. I can press to open the back here. Good space, but it's cold, so let's jump inside. Now, I was waiting to get this car on test. Finally, it's here, and oh boy, it's really great. Okay, let me quickly run through the interior here, just a quick glance. Looking real nice. These lights do not come on. I just wanted to share some lights so I can show you a little bit. Let me see here if I'm connected to Apple CarPlay. So every time the car just does this like checking or connection. Just to show you here Apple CarPlay. Yeah, this works nice and fast when I'm not recording, but I will not be using that. I will be using the embedded navigation. Let me just demonstrate the sound system. So Dyne Audio, this is actually, if I'm not mistaken, something that Volkswagen is using now. I forgot. 12 speakers with a bass speaker in the cargo area. It has a good sound. Now, something else. Okay, I can't play for too long, you know the drill. But it's pretty good, but not Tesla good. So, since I'm a Tesla Model 3 owner, I will do some comparison in this one. So it might help you in making a purchase decision. This is, by the way, great car, I have to say, and the build quality is amazing comparing to Tesla. This is like Mercedes-Benz level. Okay, navigation on. We have here Google navigation, and before we head out, just to show you that this screen can reorient. So instead of horizontal, which I personally prefer, you can have this vertical. It gives you like a further view of what's happening if you're in a highway, just like constructions and so on. And another thing before we head out is the cameras. Amazing camera system, really sharp resolution. These are a little bit weird, but they're focused on showing you the alloy. There's also a wide view, 3D view of the car. Now this looks like a game. I can drive and it looks like I'm playing a video game. You can also have a transparent view. So it's really something. The car is at 98%. On 100% it was like 500, something like that. Okay, I'm in normal setting. I will kick it to sport on the highway and let's drive. Okay, so this car has a something that I would call a pedestrian warning, but it's super subtle. I like that. In the car, you can't hear it. Just a second here. Let me just reset this power consumption. Now, it's subtle at low speeds, same for forward and reverse, and it's great. It's the way I like it. Tesla has that UFO sound when you're reversing. Going forward is the same, but I prefer this personally. Okay, where do I start? This is such an amazing sedan. This is actually a performance car. Considering 530 horsepower, that's I think 390 kilowatts of power. And now, I think this is called now Excellence. I think before it was called Long Range, before it was available in Croatia here. But and this might have been the performance version. It is the fastest 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. We will test that later. Top speed is limited to 180 kilometers. We won't test that. We do have a tolerance, but not that kind of tolerance. And yeah, okay, so suspension, I can feel the 19-inch. On the tire pressure sticker there are 18-inch, but in configurator there's only 19. This car would be slightly more comfortable with 18. I think that would be perfect. I can feel all these small imperfections because of the 19-inch and when the tire pressure is set correctly, but at higher speeds this is adaptive, definitely, and it really soaks up everything nicely, even the bigger holes, so it's excellent comfort. For a sports car it needs to be a little bit stiffer, and that's, I think, okay. Now let me tell you about the brakes. Okay, just before I do that, I'll have to go to actually here, gear. You should do this preferably while before heading out or when you're parked. ADAS, and then you have to disable, so this overspeed limit shim is annoying. There we go, so back to navigation. Now, I was saying about the brakes. Now, the brakes are a little bit on the sensitive side, and since you can do regenerative braking, it's, comparing to my Tesla, not as strong recuperation, but hear me out. I think they did a good job because you need to engage the brakes. This also, you can see auto hold is engaged. This also doesn't fully stop when you let go. It keeps going forward as a classical automatic. By the way, I can't see the traffic light because of this plastic. Camera is slightly lower, so you might see it. But I was saying it doesn't have strong recuperation, but if you rely on recuperation all the time, you're not burnishing the brakes and you might get some rust buildup. So I think this setup makes sense, and it's a good setup. There are two settings for recuperation, but in the strongest it just feels not strong enough, but it's still just enough to drive one pedal, because if I let go, it's deaccelerating, but at that low speed, it's not like a Tesla. You need to use and apply the brakes. But again, for brake burnishing, it makes sense. Now, steering is nice and precise if you're in a sport setting. It's nice and easy to maneuver if you're in a city. You can see the headlights here. Nice bright beam. And the car handling isn't amazing. It's an EV, low center of gravity. It's very precise. I've pushed it a little bit harder and my back end slipped, but I've noticed that it's the tires. These tires are completely worn out. They came to the minimum marker. The depth, next week this car will be switching to winter tires, so I've told them in BYD they should do it quickly. It's safe if you're driving on dry condition as this when it's cold, but if it's wet you might slip. So this is good for power consumption. The shorter the tread depth, the better for consumption, but it is not good when it's cold and rainy, driving in summer tires, which become plastic. So you don't get a lot of grip. Now, but since this is a test car, everyone is flooring it, and the tires just got worn off in like 6 months or less. Okay, what else? Overviewing the car is generally pretty solid. Besides this huge plastic, it's terrible. It should be way smaller because they're just like one camera and a rain sensor, so no need for this huge like square. It could be just a little bit around the cameras, so you can see freely around the mirror and see the traffic light, because now I cannot see the traffic light. I need to like lean to the side. I can see on the back view. It's surprisingly better than my Tesla. I can see on the back quite good. It is also kind of narrow, but you can see. Okay, you saw the cameras. These are like really amazing, and that's good. Comfort. Seats are quite comfortable. As far as I've driven the car for an hour or so, I will do a range test tomorrow, so I will give you my final verdict for the seat comfort. If it's like comfortable enough if you are driving for more than 2 hours. The interior is amazing. Everything is built great. This Android infotainment is good. It's not Tesla good. BYD has a classical digital cockpit, which most of you are used to, and you will maybe prefer this instead of the Tesla, which has like a speedo in the corner. But that's fine. It's just a matter of habit. There's a heads-up display. I've hopefully adjusted so you can see it better. I can't see it at all, but it should be the right angle for the camera. Now, you can see I've reset the trip computer for the consumption. I'm driving gently now. Okay, I think I've triggered the voice assistant. So I saw it doing something there. This is really, I would say, efficient car. It's maybe not efficient as Tesla, but still okay. I saw some car wow, those range tests until batteries die, and BYD maybe wasn't the greatest, but I think it's not terrible. We're gonna hit this manhole. That was okay. This one's really deep. I'm trying to avoid these now in the cars. This one's deeper. Still nice and comfortable. It soaks it up nicely. It's not harsh. So the suspension is really great. I feel like it has this sport tone, but also a comfort tone. Something that the Tesla in the first legacy models didn't really nailed it. It's great in the Highland because it was just super sporty and not something you want to have in a daily driver. I think this is more like it. I will switch to sport mode, not eco, sport. There we go. We'll go a little bit harsher here. So the car really holds the grip excellent. Trying to get here an opening. Sammys have passed. Okay, I will floor it here just to give them a little bit chance to move forward and floor it. Okay, so a little traffic. I'll slow down. Try to do another demo. This SUV is moving out of the way, so okay, just a little bit. Oh, nope, not yet. Okay, now. Okay, short demo really speeds up nicely. Now I'm trying to hit this fan where this button is. Okay, so this is Eco. It's solid for those of you who are maybe beginners and this is too much power, but normal is, I would say, just powerful enough, but not fast as the Sport. Now, on the higher speed, it's not as fast as Tesla in just, kicking faster, but at low speed, it really has a good punch. Okay, so smooth asphalt, rough. There are some patches here, but you can hear at 100, like mostly tire noise. At higher speeds, you can, this is soft, rough, you can hear a little bit of wind noise, but it is not that bad. The soundproof is quite decent. You can see the beam, long beam, so pretty good performance. If I engage the cruise control, you can play with the distance. And when you see a green steering wheel, it's also here on the digital cockpit, it's keeping you in the lane. So I can push it to the right, but it's going to correct me, and it keeps you in the middle. If the road is going into a bend, it keeps you in the lane, which is excellent. And it works really good. I haven't checked if it does change lanes. No, but it does disengage, so you have to steer it in order for the car to recognize the lanes. If it's green again, it keeps you in the center, so that's fine. Yeah, it just keeps you in the lane. Now on the BYD Seal AWD DMI, the blind spot didn't work for some reason, but in this one it does. So this car is very well equipped, and I would say that it's a great competitor to Tesla. BYD is now surpassed Tesla in sales. They're really pushing hard, and it's a good competitor. Now, I will see tomorrow in my range test how much can we actually pull out of this car, see the charging speeds. But one thing where Tesla has the advantage is charging network. For this car, in Croatia you have the Ionity, but Ionity doesn't have as much locations as Tesla. Tesla is also spreading the network a little bit faster than Ionity now in the next year, and you still have plenty of like 50 DC chargers in the city where you have like Lidl or Kaufland. See, the brakes are really punchy. If you just slightly press it in more deeper, it really grips. So it's slightly sensitive, but you will get a feeling for it, so it's not a big deal. Now we will do 0 to 100 test in a safely manner. There's no traffic, straight line, but for the headlights, I found out that the ramps are now closed if you're regular to the channel. So I think we can show it on the side, but we can't go down that street anymore. But man, this car is such fun. Now, it's definitely more fun on the open road and the bends where it's also more efficient, but it can be also a daily driver that you can bring to a track. So it will be very fun. Now I will switch back to sport mode. Not eco, sport. There we go. When it's red, you know it's a sport mode. I guess that's like universal color for sport mode. I will drive really slow, let this car pass me. There's there's no one behind me, so just, you know, always safety first is my #1 priority when doing these tests. And, you know, show I'm also definitely a responsible person. This is just for a test. Full stop. Now you can see the power consumption, it came to 15. We'll probably ruin that now, but just one thing. Someone mentioned in the DMI, so that there is this thing. Oh wait, not here. Excuse me. Still no one behind me, don't worry. This one. Timer. Okay, so this is for launching. Exit after 60. Okay. Brake, accelerator all the way to the floor, and release. Woo! Okay, brake check. Ooh, the brakes are really good. Hazards engage. When you take off, they disengage. You can see here the speed, 1.5 seconds to 50, 3.6. Wow, this is the best time. What? Wow, I like the statistics that you get. I don't have that in the Tesla. I mean, I don't have the performance, but I don't think Tesla has that. Wow. I was prepared. I already did this once in this car, so I knew what to expect. Ooh, the ramp is up. I was here yesterday, and it was down. So, okay, I will do the light test. That is good news. You can see here. So the beam is shooting far to the end. I can almost see the end. It's nice and wide and everything is great. Now I would say we didn't completely ruin the power consumption, but considering everything, really nice car. Price in Croatia for the design trim, which only has a rear-wheel drive and around 60 kWh battery, is 48,000 euros. This one, the all-wheel drive excellence trim, is 51,000 euros. Now, with something similar, slightly cheaper than my Tesla when I got it, but you can still get 9,000 euros government incentive. This year, it was already for businesses, and end of the year, it will be for cab drivers. Next year, in 2026, it will be also for private individuals again. So you might get this car if you really are looking for a new EV in Croatia. But generally, there are still incentives in other countries. Some countries like Germany have, removed it. They're bringing it back now, but it's maybe more focused on people with not the highest incomes, but maybe lower income, same as in France. So still there's opportunity to get them because these cars are still more expensive, but ICE cars are getting also more expensive, and it just makes sense. These are close now, but with the incentives, they're just more attractive, of course. Yeah, this is pedestrian warning. So there's like slight humming sound, which is great. It's noticeable, but not annoying. There's some chargers here. If you are visiting Zagreb, this is called Avenue Mall. They have a good cinema. It's a shopping mall. It's in New Zagreb. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna park here, and the U-turn is solid, but I think it could be slightly better. Yeah, but the car is generally amazing. I would say really a good competitor to Tesla. I'm happy that there's more competition, so we have more choices as customers, and this is a real solid car. Definitely, I would recommend go for a test drive. And if you like this video, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe, click the bell to get notified when I upload more videos. I did a detailed day review, night tour, day point of view driving with no comments. Also, night point of view driving with impressions, and I will do a range test tomorrow. I will go for a 300-kilometer trip. It's a mixed terrain, so we can see how much range you can actually get in real life driving 130 kilometers per hour, which is speed limit in most European countries. So let me get out. It's also going to be, well, during the day, around 15 degrees, but actually it's winter time now, so it's probably going to be night, so it's going to be maybe colder. We're going to see how this car will perform. I will maybe try to compare it with my Tesla. Again, to give you a little bit of perspective, as a now more than 4-year EV driver, I really like the looks of this car. It just looks really sleek and dynamic, very sporty. Love it. The build quality is there, definitely better than Tesla. Love the design. Yeah, it's a really great car. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.